Do you feel comfortable in this chair? Vladimir?
Where the hell am I?
This is literally the hell you are in. And it's the only place in the universe where your approval rating is finally honest. 0%. You look rather puzzled, Tovarishch Putin. Let me guess what's going through your mind right now. Is this some Ukrainian prank? Have they abducted me, injected me with truth serum, and are broadcasting my suffering to the whole world?
That is absolutely not possible. I was just having a snack in the safety of my bunker. I remember that vividly. And then,
let me show you exactly what happened, Vladimir Vladimirovich.
Что, блядь, происходит?
Good evening. We interrupt our broadcast with urgent news from St. Petersburg. The city is currently experiencing what officials are calling a major technical incident involving sewage system. In simpler terms, the entire historical center is now drowning in raw shit. Streets that once inspired poets have turned into rivers of human waste. Residents report that the smell has reached apocalyptic levels, while city officials continue to describe the situation as manageable. Hospitals are evacuating patients through waist-deep sewage, and schools have canceled classes due to unfavorable aromatic conditions. Authorities recommend staying indoors and strongly advise against swimming in the new attractions. We will keep you updated on this developing aroma. Stay with us. Nevertheless, this situation once again demonstrates the remarkable resilience of the Russian people, who are able to adapt to any conditions with dignity and patience.
Any questions? Good. Let's review your list of sins, Vladimir. It all started with a simple deal. In 1999, you went to Tatiana Dyachenko, Boris Yeltsin's daughter, and made her a very generous offer. You promised the entire Yeltsin family safety, immunity, and unlimited wealth. In exchange for the keys to Russia, they accepted. And just like that, a mid-level KGB officer turned FSB chief became the president of the largest country on Earth. Then came your true baptism of fire, the Second Chechen War. In September 1999, Russia was shaken by a series of horrifying apartment bombings. Over the course of 2 weeks, 4 residential buildings were blown up in Moscow, Buyansk, and Volgodonsk. More than 300 people were killed in their sleep. Hundreds more were injured. Entire apartment blocks were reduced to piles of concrete and bodies. The country was terrified. The nation demanded revenge. You immediately declared that Chechen terrorists were behind the attacks and launched a full-scale military operation. The war began. Interestingly, there was one small detail. During the 5th plant bombing in the city of Ryazan, local police actually caught FSB agents planting explosives in the basement of an apartment building. The FSB later claimed it was just a training exercise with sugar instead of explosives. You never allowed a proper independent investigation, starting your presidency with the murder of your own citizens. How very Soviet of you. How very KGB. After the apartment bombings, you launched a full-scale invasion. Russian forces bombed and shelled Chechnya without mercy. The capital, Grozny, was destroyed twice, first by airstrikes, then in brutal street fighting. Entire cities and villages were turned into rubble. Tens tens of thousands of civilians died.
Ну-ка иди сюда.
Пожалуйста, оставьте нас!
Смотри, какая тёлка. И дочка тоже ничего.
Не трогайте ее!
Тяжелая, сука, но наша.
Your troops looted, raped, and killed with almost total impunity. While the bodies piled up and Chechnya burned, your popularity in Russia exploded. The war wasn't just a military campaign, it was your coronation. You showed the country and the world exactly what kind of leader you intended to be. Ruthless, uncompromising, and perfectly willing to drown a region in blood to secure your power. You built your entire presidency on that river of blood and fear, a truly masterful opening act. And the consequences of this war would echo for many years to come, staining the fate of the Russian people long after the fighting officially ended. But even before the later tragedies, there was one event that beautifully revealed your soul. A Russian nuclear submarine, K-141 Kursk, sank during a naval exercise in the Barents Sea. An explosion in a faulty torpedo, then a second blast that tore the vessel apart. 118 men were on board. Many died instantly, but not all. 23 survived the explosion. They moved to the rear compartment. They had air. They had time. They waited for rescue. One of them wrote a note in the dark saying they were still alive. And on the surface, you were informed. You confidently told the world, everything is under control. It was not. Your rescue systems failed. Your equipment did not work.
Спасибо, но у нас и так все хорошо.
Still, you refused help. Other nations offered assistance. The United States, the United Kingdom, Norway. They had the technology. They could open the hatch, but you said no. You chose secrecy over speed, control over human life. Days passed. The oxygen inside the submarine ran out. The men who survived the explosion died slowly in darkness, not from the blast, from waiting. Only after several days, you allowed foreign divers to enter. They opened the hatch quickly, too quickly, because by then, everyone was already dead. And when the world asked you a simple question,
You tell me, what happened with the submarine?
It sank.
no explanation, no responsibility, no weight, just 2 words for 118 lives. Let us return to the consequences of the Second Chechen War, where once again, you demonstrated what had already become a pattern of your rule. A complete disregard for the lives of your own citizens. Moscow, 2002. A theater filled with ordinary people, families, couples, children. They came to watch a musical. They did not know they were walking into a siege. Chechen militants took the building. Over 900 hostages. Explosives wired across the hall. Women with suicide belts among the crowd. A standoff began. Days passed. The world watched. You had options. Negotiations were possible. Time could have been used. Lives could have been preserved. Instead,
Давайте уже начинать
you
операцию.
chose a different path. A ruthless and deadly for both the terrorists and the hostages. Your forces pumped an unknown gas into the ventilation system. Not the hostages, not the doctors. No one was told what it was. It spread through the hall. Militants collapsed. Hostages collapsed. No distinction. The operation has started. Your forces moved in. Gunfire, screams, bodies falling. For 15 minutes, chaos and execution. And when it ended, they began to carry them out. Not the dead alone, but the living. Unconscious, poisoned by your gas. The militants were neutralized, but so were the people you claimed to save. When troops entered the theater, hostages were not standing. They were unconscious. Hundreds, stacked like bodies, loaded into buses. No proper medical response. No antidote prepared. Doctors did not even know what they were treating, and they were denied access to any information on this gas compound. 130 civilians died. Not from bullets, not from explosions, from the gas and from the chaos that followed. And again, information was hidden. The composition of the gas, classified. Responsibility, avoided. Truth, delayed. You did not warn them. You did not prepare to save them. You did not even explain what killed them. Efficiency, control, silence. Always the same instruments in your hands. You eliminated the threat, but you treated the hostages as acceptable loss. Collateral, a calculation. That is your method. Not to protect life, but to protect yourself. To choose the outcome that shields you, no matter the cost paid by others. Anyway, our time is over. For now, do not wander far. We will continue soon.